American football in Finland.
The voice in your ears and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Pervis, and this is American Football in Finland. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Coach Q. What up, Q?
Yes, sir. What up? What up? You back?
Week, what is it, 11 that we just had
Yeah.
going? Oh, yeah, it's all going down this week. The AFL podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcast, and you can see us visually here on YouTube. Wherever you listen or watch, be sure to subscribe, follow, and like us. Anyone who listens but doesn't hit that button, we know you're a hater, but that's cool. We're going to get on with the show anyway. Let's get it. All right, it's first down. When we get a chance to start fresh and discuss whatever's on our minds. Coach Q, what's new with you?
Man, you know what? Did you see the Tyron Dixon story? Did you see his post?
Yeah. I've
I
seen it
heard about
before.
that.
So,
I heard about his story before I even correlated that it was him. I heard about
hmm
the story because me and my dad, my dad is an ex-cop, and we talk
yeah,
about a lot of stuff sometimes, and we talked about his story, and I don't remember hearing that he had just got back from Finland, but it's a crazy thing to go through, man. But people don't understand. I think sometimes people in Europe don't understand the things that we go through in the U.S., man, and the
yeah,
reason why we try not to be there a lot, because of stuff like his story. But I'm glad that he got cleared up, and it sucks that he had to go through that, and I hope he definitely get paid in some kind of way for them wrong imprisonments, man. Like just coming home from Finland and then to people putting you in handcuffs, like that's a crazy ordeal. Because some people, never get that, never have to go through that, or never even possibly would go through that, and that's just by a difference of name and look. Like it's just crazy how something like that can still happen with all this technology we got. But Tyron Dixon, hey, we all, I seen the story, man. And I just hate that happened to him, man, because everything that I've heard, about him and stuff has been good stuff. So it sucks to hear, what happened to him, but I definitely hope that he get paid for that, man, or something.
yeah. Our hearts go out to him. I mean, me personally, I got to be honest on here. I'm so accustomed to that type of stuff. Like I'm so accustomed to that being the situation that like I don't even like register. Like I saw the story a couple of times on my feed, and I was like, oh, they got another one. That's my initial
Yeah,
reaction is,
yeah.
another one gone. Like earlier this summer, I actually got to meet the guy that was in China for like 9 years in prison.
Mm,
Wendell Brown. Met him
yeah.
personally. Great guy, and he's moving on with his life, and it's sad, but like some people don't know. They don't know that like that is the life that we live out here. Just getting a little bit personal. I remember my wife, she's Finnish, obviously, so we have conversations, and like whenever someone like from the States calls me, and I'm like, oh, I just talked to my aunt, or oh, I just talked to my brother. She's like, who's in jail now, or who
Mm,
just died? Like that's her first
mm,
question. It's
mm.
kind of a joke, but it's a reality
Yeah, nah.
because like that's how life is out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time I found out about something going on back home, it's something to that degree that it's some type of racial situation where people are getting jammed up and life just isn't it's not given to you. And I think out here in Europe, people get accustomed to, you have certain rights and freedoms. You can say what you want to, do what you want, and you don't fear for your life necessarily. In the States, like I remember every time I go down there, someone's always like, hey, don't say that. I'm like, oh, I forgot where I was at. I can't just pop off at the
And
mouth.
it's,
I can't get
mm-hmm.
in situations where I look like someone else. And I mean, it's sad, but it's still going on. And I think as like we're getting ready for like the NFL season, I remember seeing something online about them still doing like end racism signs at the back of the end zone and stuff this year. They're still
Mm-hmm.
gonna go for what's it called? Civilization change, some type of causes, civility causes, something like that. They're still trying to do that in NFL, and it just reminds me that that stuff just isn't going away. as much as we like to say stuff like end racism, that'll never go away. It's just a different type of racism than what people are accustomed to. I mean, but there's always been like anything that separates people will become something. And that's just kind of what has always been around the world. And now as the world gets smaller and we discover more of it and we find out we have even more differences, it's just more likely to go. And it's just sad that that's the way it went. That is not what I want to talk about on first down. So I'm gonna switch. You got me in my feelings over there now. I wanted to throw out a little bit of information, not information, but I wanted to again lob this back out here. What is going on with the ELF EFA situation?
Man,
like,
I don't. I'm just
tell me
seeing
something.
posts,
Tell me
man.
something. I just want to talk about.
I'm just seeing posts, man. I'm just seeing posts. I'm like, what is going on right now in Europe? Like, do we need to just go back to Germany and Austria and Finland and Sweden and everybody just having their own thing again? Because like it can't be this hard to have a league, agree. That's what you got a board for. That's what you have board members for, to agree to things and people to put them in place to make sure that this league grows and continues to give people opportunities to play football and these countries to get quality football. But it's like everybody stepping down, people agreeing to stuff, some people not agreeing to it. I'm just like, man, these people, like, they just want to play football. At the end of the day, all the players just want to play ball, man. Like, and they have to make it so difficult. So
I mean, like, to me, I mean, because me and you, we kind of been out here around the same like time period. So it's one of those things of like, with technology, we go from big phones to little phones back to big phone, like, and it's feel like that's what we're doing with the football. We go from having all these different leagues to, okay, we're consolidating, we're playing against each other internationally, and now we're going to go back into mines and yours and his. And I think it's one thing that as an American, we see it more when we come to Europe. And again, not trying to like take away from anybody else's experience, but as an American, you're accustomed to, 50 states. And we know that like those states are all wildly different and we kind of get along, but there's people that live in Texas their whole lives and that's fine. And they're okay. And in Europe, for some reason, people keep trying to lump the continent together and don't respect the countries. Like the United States is not North America. Like the United States and Canada and Mexico, like they don't just, rock with each other and do all this intercontinental stuff. They don't.
Yeah.
But in Europe, people think that, oh, well, since we're so close, but you're wildly different. And that's what is the issue with trying to do American football on the international level is everybody got their own agenda. Everybody's like, this is what we want to do. This is what we want out of it. This is what we want out of it. And no one's on the same page because it isn't y'all's sport. It is like the sport wasn't built for that. It wasn't built for different countries to communicate and play against each other. It was built to be played in one place in the United States. And what happens is, I think I'm also living in Finland. I've come accustomed to how Finland does a lot of their things is, what we got is going good. So we ain't really just going to mess with all that other stuff. And ultimately, I feel like that's the move here when it comes like, I think again, I'm still going to bring this back. I think I've been saying this for like 5 years now. Bring back the Euro Bowl, baby. Bring it back.
It was no problem.
Play in your league.
It was no problem.
I mean, all it was there was no financially it was difficult because a lot of the teams are having to do the financials themselves. But if you look around at most leagues, that's still the case. Yeah. Like if you look at almost any league in Europe, your club team is responsible for your financials and you pay the federation. Now with the ELF and probably with the EFA, they're doing, revenue sharing, but it's more like, WNBA type of revenue sharing. You're sharing losses. I mean, there's money moving, but there's not a huge like profit margin from it. And that's okay. But I think that when I look at these leagues, starting up and then 5 years later, it doesn't make. And now we have 2 more leagues. We're pretty much back into having, the GFL 1 and GFL 2 were very competitive leagues. And you can play in other countries as well, and play in those leagues and do stuff like that. You know, you had that, what is the ITC card for transfers, all that crap. It wasn't great, but it was something you could rely on. And now it's anybody goes because there's so much money being moved around. And then people are like, oh, you know, ELF isn't transparent about money. We knew that from day one. I'm sorry, I said that from day one. Like, this financially, it doesn't work. And eventually somebody gonna get upset about it. And that's what's happened. Down the road, teams are like, hey, where's this money going? What's going on? Anybody involved in American football in Europe knows that there's no money to really be made. You can shuffle things around all you want to. And then in the ELF, all those teams that weren't in great markets, like Germany has some great markets. I give you that. There's some places in Germany where you can make money. But then you have places like Hungary and what was it, Prague, and even Poland. Those, whatever their currency is, it don't necessarily translate to euros well. So you're looking at like a lot of differences. And France, come on now, we know the Musketeers are not making any money. Like there's no money in France. Like, it is what it is. But with the ELF, everybody was like bought in on this. Like, I want to say, this facade, like everybody knew that there was something behind it, but no one said anything. And now people are like, hey, let's talk about it. I'm like, why you want to talk about it now? Like, I feel like it's too late now. Like, at this point, now we're gonna have two more startup leagues, and we're gonna be back into that situation that a couple of years ago when there was multiple IFAFs. I don't know if you remember that whole scandal going on. There was an IFAF Paris and an IFAF New York. Now we have a ELF and an EF. I mean, tomato is how I feel about it. But I tell you one thing, makes me glad that, you know, I follow football in Finland, and we've been doing our thing for a good little minute. Whenever people ask me about ELF, I'll be like, why would we? I mean, it's going decent out here.
Get us caught up in that, and then we out of something like, it'll be great to do, but they got to have it together, man. They got to have it together.
Well, so that's one thing I like about. Well, I said Nordics before. I mean, before the Nordic storm, but it's a whole nother situation as well. But if you look at Sweden, you look at Finland, a lot of these clubs, a lot of people in charge, they have these, like, they don't have those beer goggles on. They have like clear vision. They're like, there's no point in us doing that if we can't even do it here. Like, if we're not on TV and all our teams in our regional league, if even just the top teams, if they aren't financially able to like make a revenue out of this and make profit, why would we go and try to do something on an international level where there's much more red tape that we got to deal with? Like, you know, in some of these countries, there's teams that are getting practice fields where they're just not paying for it. The city is just giving it to them. And then once they get into like the ELF, those same practice fields, they can't get them for free anymore because you're no longer like a nonprofit. You're an actual business. You have to pay what a business pays to get that. And now everything you do is commercially licensed. So it's that much harder. And you already, as a nonprofit, weren't making any money. And now you go and try to join this league and you're still not making any money, but now everything costs even more. And you have these now new financial obligations based on the revenue sharing of the ELF. But again, I just want to throw that out there. It's crazy how it went down. Because I've been watching from a distance. I know you watch it like more consistently than I do, like the actual games. But I said from day one that, like, I'm gonna wait. I said I'm gonna wait and see how it shake out. I'm like, if it make it to 5 years, actually I said if it make it to 3 years, I'll start paying attention. It made it to 3, I start paying attention, and when I started paying attention, the wheels started falling off. About 2 years ago, that's when the wheels started falling off. I was like, whoo, glad I didn't jump on early. But that's first down. I mean, I guess we'll get out of here and start talking Finland now. All right. Let's talk some of the key player performances from this week, week 11 in the Maple League. Stats aside, these are players who deserve recognition for their play last week. We can give players 1, 2, or 3 helmet stickers depending on their performance. And we'll start with 1 sticker performances. Do you have anybody this week, Q?
Do I have anybody? Yeah, you know what? Our boys,
Okay.
Solomon,
Fiso Salama. Yeah.
kickoff return to the crib. Even though they wasn't in the game, I still like to see my boy make plays, man, and it was good to see that. Just to see him, like some people give up when you're losing, and they don't really try to make a lot of stuff happen. But my boy was out there playing to the end, man, and the kickoff turn was impressive, and he did his thing. So I wanted to shout him out for that. You know what I'm saying? I gave him a 1 sticker.
Let me jump on here. Let me jump on here with Fiso. Shout out to Fiso for the kickoff return. I only watched 3/4 of the game. I ain't gonna lie, because once we got to the third quarter, I noticed that the Butchers weren't putting in their starters, and I was like, I'm not gonna keep watching this. And I already knew the score. I had already watched the highlights, but him scoring that touchdown. I mean, I think he was trying to get some get back. I think, was it last weekend? Him and a couple of those players were trying to play some flag football and things didn't go to the route. Team Tompio, shout out to Team Tompio. They went to Espo, beat a team, and then got disqualified because of some situations. And if you know, you know. But I think that he was on a mission this week that he was going to do something great because he felt like he didn't get to do something great the week before. So shout out to Fiso doing great things out there. Definitely one of the young and up and comers for the Wolverines. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Who else you got? 1 sticker.
1 sticker. He was like my only 1 sticker, honestly.
I got a list of them.
Let
me run them down. I'll go quarterback from ECG, Neo Nieminen. His stats weren't great. 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But the amount of game that I watched, again, I watched until it's like a blowout. He commanded the offense. He ran that offense. That's a young kid in there. I'm assuming their import was injured from the last game. I did see him go down a couple times. But he showed up. He ran the offense, and he looked like he knew what he was doing. He was comfortable in that offense. And that's a good sign for ECG going forward, is having someone like him either in the quarterback room or ready to take over the reins if they decide to go that route in the future. So I just want to give him a sticker. Shout out to Neo Nieminen. Another guy I got for 1 sticker, Ethan Greenfield, which I assume you probably got him for more than 1 sticker.
Yeah, I definitely got for more.
Yeah. The only reason he gets 1 sticker is because of who you playing against, you know? But he had 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's impressive. But I also was like, I said it last week. If I was ECG, I'm just trying to get through this week. But Ethan Greenfield, he did have one hell of a game. Who else I got on here? I know I got some names you probably don't. I got Justin Prostanak, number 7 from the Roosters, the new import that came in to play the running back. He had 111 all-purpose yards. I just noticed that when they got him involved, he had success. He had 73 rushing yards, 38 receiving yards. They didn't lean on him per se. They had their own situations, and we'll talk about that in the game. But he actually played really good, and I really wish he would have got more burn in this game. Probably could have helped him get onto a win. Next guy, also from the Roosters, number 14, Tarmo Pitkanen. 5 receptions, 75 yards. I think it was like 3rd or 4th time I brought up Pitkanen. And what I really like is that they throw to him a lot, and he catches it a lot. That's pretty much it. Consistency. It's the one thing that a lot of people just don't respect is we see a lot of receivers that get targets but don't get catches. Pitkanen, he don't drop too many passes. And he runs that mid-route game for them a lot of times. So he's catching those tough balls where there's bodies coming across, moving. You might get hit after you catch. You got to catch it and move real quick or you lose your head. That's where he's a possession receiver. And he's done it great all year. And this game was no different. He did exactly what they asked him to do. Nothing more, nothing less. You get a star from me, my man. I see you out there. Who else I got on here? Last name, Kimi Tuomi, set from the Saints, number 80 at tight end. He has 6 receptions, 66 yards. I'm just every week impressed with how fast he is.
Man, might be the best. Might be the best. I don't know if he's like a slot receiver or a tight end. I'm trying to figure it out.
He's technically a tight end, but the Saints run more of like a spread
Trips.
tight end, more like a
Yeah.
more of a. He's not a Gronkowski. He's the damn it, I forgot the guy's name.
Kind of like
The one
Olsen.
that
He like Olsen to me. That's what I like. When I see him, I
I
see like
would.
an Olsen.
He was too damn thin. Like he's not, but
Well,
he's strong.
Olsen wasn't like super huge,
You
but he
think
was more like
Olsen was
not
still
like
like
compared to like Antonio Gonzalez. Like them the big
yeah,
tight ends.
okay.
Gronkowski, they was just
So
like big
his
dudes.
style, yeah, his frame obviously there's not his style is Aaron Hernandez to me. That's who it is. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
You remember those time when you had Aaron and you had Grok both, and
Yeah.
they were two different tight ends. He's more of
Yeah.
an Aaron type,
Yeah.
or the other guy that played basketball. But yeah, so giving him a sticker because again, very fast though. Like
Yeah.
he's got, I'll leave you real quick speed. So a lot of his routes, like he catches the ball and then his yak is crazy.
I gave him
Considering
two.
normally you gave him 2 stars. Okay,
Yeah, I gave him
normally
two stars. Yeah.
normally defenders are within range of him when he catches the ball, but then he'd leave him. And I'm like, that's impressive to me because a lot of guys can't just start and go and then get up to top speed. So he gets 1 star from me, 2 stars from you, and that's my last one. So we'll go to the 2 stars. Who you got?
2 stars, like you just said, Tormy. And the reason I gave him the 2 stars is because some of the catches that he made, like he got hands, not only speed, but he can run routes. He got hands. He's dependable. Um, and
Yeah.
and and I said I was gonna wait till we talk about the game, but I really hope to see him, you know what I'm saying, in the league for a few years. But I feel like somebody is probably gonna sign him to come play for them in another country or something because he's that type of caliber player. But just his presence every week, this game too, had a lot to do with why they won, and so I gave him two stickers. Um, who else I have for 2 stickers? I gave the whole Tampa the Saints defense 2 stickers. I gave
That's
the whole
impressive.
Tampa the Saints
That's
defense
impressive.
2 stickers because I had to rewatch this game. I fell asleep when it first came on and knocked out. But when I watched the game, I was like, maybe when I seen it at the end of the score, I said, well, maybe the Roosters like sat people, or maybe they didn't play all game or whatever. And then I was like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, a lot of people played the whole game, and like the Saints
Yeah.
won the game. And the reason I gave them 2 stickers, the Saints defense 2 stickers, is because of the plays and effort they had in this game. Like I haven't seen the Saints tackle the way that they tackled in this game. I haven't seen them get pressure the way that they got pressure in this game. Just their ability to make plays to make sure that they won this game. Even though the Roosters obviously offense is what it was, the Saints looked like a different team to me. I'm gonna be honest. That's just to me. I'm not saying they look like the best defense, but they were the more aggressive team on defense, and I gave their whole defense 2 stickers, man. I had to. You know what I'm saying? It was just
I agree with you. I'm jumping on here. I agree with you 100%. Like they played super aggressive and much better than we've seen them play before. Because pretty much earlier in the season, we've called out their, effort and execution on defense, like missing tackles, not everyone running to the ball. And then this was like a total 180. And I want to give more credit to Jesse Robbins from when we had him on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. He said it's going to be different. I think them bringing in Logan Collier and I don't remember the other import's name, but I know he's number 15 on defense. Both of them has helped that defense kind of amplify their play a little bit more. But I do want to throw out Jesse's comment about the tight end position. Jay Novacek.
Yeah.
If you're watching back from the 90s, the Cowboys dynasty, Jay Novacek I think he was one of the first, I don't know who, well, I guess maybe
Like
Shannon
hybrid.
Sharp, one of the first first hybrid tight end that actually got the ball and stuff. And Jay Novacek, man, that's crazy. That's a good one though.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Who else you got for 2 stickers?
Other 2 stickers, I gave the whole Portable Butchers 2 stickers. I gave them 2 stickers. I know you're about to say why. I'm going to tell you why.
And it's my squad, but
yeah. The reason why is because consistency.
A win is a win.
Yeah, it's like consistency. I can't knock them for winning this game. Obviously, like it wasn't, 100-0 or nothing like that. But like to me, I just felt like they did what they were supposed to do all this season, and that was get wins. And just for them to come out, same thing. Like you want to get ready for the playoffs. This is how you do it. You come in, you obviously play some of your backups. You don't want certain guys in there. You don't want them to get hurt. And they gave them a chance for the guys that haven't been playing a lot to get in there and get some real action. Maybe they won't play again, this season, or maybe they won't get this much playing time this season. But that's what you want to do as an organization. You want the guys who don't get a lot of play. You want them to be able to come in there and say, "Hey, I was a part of a win. I made plays." They can look at the film and see things that they did wrong and did right. So I just said, like, I gave them 2 stickers just for that, just to give the guys, the backup guys, some time to come in there and really trust them to play. You know what I'm saying? And I just like seeing that. That's all. That's why I gave them 2. I mean, I know they
respect.
Yeah. I just seen it from a different point of view.
Yeah, that's not bad. What else? You got any more, or are you good?
Who else again? I'm thinking about. Oh, Crocs, Charles Cano. Okay.
Hold on. You gave him only 2?
Look. Okay, I'm gonna say.
I got the stats, and I saw the game. Like,
go ahead. The stats. Give the stats.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you 2 people's stats. Actually, we skipping ahead. I'm sorry, we're skipping ahead because both him and Tylen Riley Coleman have to get three stickers. Okay, here's Riley Coleman's stats: 3 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 2 sacks. It's crazy. Charles O'Connell. I don't even know how they do the stats because this don't make sense. 2.5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. I'm saying it again. 2.5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. I don't know who's keeping the stats. So every tackle he made, every tackle he made was behind the line of scrimmage. 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 sacks, 1 PBU. And I can name you the forced fumbles, the sacks, the PB, like everything. The difference between these 2 guys was Riley Coleman had a great game, and it was crazy how good they both were. Between both of them, they created 5 turnovers. But with Charles O'Connell, every time he made a play, it was pivotal. Like it wasn't like it was a third and you got to convert. He comes in with a strip sack. It's a third and got to convert that in your red zone. Strip sack picks it up, keeps going, gets yards, change the field when it looks like they're about to get scored on. That's what he did the whole game. And right behind him, pretty much every time that was happening, number 2 was like 2 feet away from him, half a second behind him.
That's why I was going to give him 3. I was going to give Coleman 3 because I didn't want him to I wanted him to have his own week. Where he wasn't right by Connor. Like, even though I would have, they really should have the 3 together, but I wanted Coleman.
The PBU is what made me give O'Connell 3 in the first place, because that was very like heads up play. He does that a lot. Like he has a lot of PBUs for somebody who also rushes the quarterback. He's so smart. And I feel you. We should give Riley Coleman.
And they're the top 2 sack leaders too, right?
I mean, it's a crazy tandem because you think anybody that you put with O'Connell is gonna like obviously get numbers, but I mean, I'm not gonna say you could take one of them off the field and the other one does better. But when I'm watching them both play, whatever lineman is trying to block them, I mean, good luck to you, no matter what, because they both have their own unique skill set, and it's very like it's hard to stay with them the whole game. Like they both move around. Coleman sometimes plays in a tackle. He doesn't always play a rush. And then they have a different skill set. Coleman likes to engage you. He doesn't just get by you. He'll engage you, while Kano will just run by you sometimes. but he also will engage you and throw you off. Like I have sympathy for anybody trying to block those two guys. But yeah, I thought it was crazy you thought to give them 2, but yeah. But anybody else with 2 that legitimately you give 2?
That legitimately gave 2. No, those to me, like I could pick out some guys that I feel like maybe could get some stickers, but like this weekend just wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's why I have a lot of 2s. I think
yeah,
that's why I have a lot of 2s because I got a lot of guys that like they play well, but like I'm not giving you 3 stickers. But I
yeah.
mean, I saw you like Logan Collier from the Saints, 122 all-purpose. He had a touchdown and an interception, and he was responsible. I believe he was responsible for the Saints
For the
winning this
win.
game
Yeah, oh yeah.
because he
Yeah,
did
sure.
he did the one thing that you got to do to beat the Roosters, and that is put clamps on number 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what his job was. And if you watch the game, we'll talk about it later. I won't get into it. But
we'll
I'll give him 2 stickers. He did, I think, because he did a great job doing that and putting up points for his team. And really, it's mostly for the defensive play, but also he scored. He was also, the returner and stuff. Another guy I gave 2 stickers to, Christian Aaron B-Day from the Butchers. I look at his
I think
stats
he's
too.
averaged like 2-3 stickers a week though the whole season, pretty much.
But because of this, the dude was 17 for 19, 89% completion. Like, I'm watching the game, I'm like, he don't miss. He don't miss. Like, that is ridiculous. And it's not, he don't miss because he's saying hut, boom, boom, boom. He's hut, buying a little bit of time, finding somebody downfield, deep, diming it, in coverage, diming it. And then he also runs. He had, what did it say? He had 21 rush yards and a touchdown. So he's giving us 2 to 3 touchdowns every week. And it should have had another touchdown, but he threw a pick to Solomon in the back of the end zone. I don't know what that was about, but I'll give it to you. He got like 6 interceptions on the year to like 40 touchdowns or something like that. I give him 2 stickers though, because I just respect anybody that can do that. That 19 pass attempts is a lot. And to complete 17 of them, I mean, some people could throw 19 passes with no defense and not complete 17.
Not complete 17 passes, yeah.
Like that. He's doing this in a game. That's very impressive. And
MVP?
I'm only giving him 2. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
somebody wrote me on IG this morning, and I meant to tell y'all in the chat. Somebody wrote me on IG said y'all haven't talked about the MVP race yet, and I said, they asked me like, who do you think is the MVP? And I said, who do you think? And they was like, it's only one. This is what they told me. It's only one. But I said no. Oh, wow. I said we're gonna talk about it, and it's more than just one. But we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say we can either do it in this episode or next week's episode because we only got the one game. Yeah. I feel like let the season end. It's hard now, and with the way that this season went, and everybody playing different teams, it's so hard to like keep up. Like doing the power rankings was the best way to keep up what was going on because we had a period in the middle of the season where the Steelers did not play for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I forgot that Ethan Greenfield was so damn good. I wasn't seeing him play. And then they came back from break, and I'm like, hold up, this number 10. I forgot, he went up in my like overall rankings a little bit because I hadn't seen him play. And that's how it goes when you have them, everyone's not playing everybody. So there's lulls in the season and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Maybe towards the end of the season when we've seen everyone kind of get a good shot at everybody. Like right now, the Steelers are finishing up their season, basically adding stats so they catch up to statistically where they should be for a lot of their good players. So, but we can get into that, though. Next person, I got 2 stickers. I mean, if I'm naming one Christian, I'm going with the other Christian Powell. 162 yards rushing and a touchdown, 56 yards receiving and a touchdown. Also giving us 2 to 3 touchdowns a game. 100, I think he's averaging like 150 a game now, right? He's up there. Like I don't think he's had any games under 100 yards this year. and he has over 2,000 yards rushing, right?
Is it
I
over
want to
2,000?
say.
I think when I look at the stats, was it after the game or before the game to look at the stats? But he was
I mean,
around
I'm
like
gonna look.
16, 17.
Okay,
I
okay,
feel
okay,
like,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, they played 10 games, so he's not getting 200 a game. So
yeah.
if he's getting
He's
like
around like
150,
17.
yeah, he's probably around 17. So he's average. That's averaging 170 a game
Yeah,
if he's at 1,700. So yeah, and that's rushing. He's still
yeah.
getting like 30 to 50 yards receiving every game as well. So his all purpose, he's definitely over 2,000. But even in this game, like I still don't understand the whole putting in the backups, but early in the game, it looked like, he was doing his thing. They were up like 14-0, and he caught that quick pass from
Give
Aaron
it to
B.
the
Day.
crib.
Another thing. It took that to the crib. I
Yeah,
mean, you call those passing yards if you want to, but it's
yeah. Yeah,
basically it was
that's
a
Yak
shovel.
right there,
Yeah.
boy. Yeah,
Yeah. He thought because Aaron B. Day threw it about 3 yards to get it to him, and then he just turned around immediately and was like, I'm faster than everybody on the defense. And just ran
yeah,
by everybody. Like, that's
yeah.
crazy. But again, 2 stickers for him. Another guy I'm giving 2 stickers to, and this one, I think his stats probably wouldn't give him 2 stickers, but in this game, I'm giving it to Matthias Tuominen from the Wolverines, number 34, wide receiver. He had 4 receptions, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. His stats don't look as good as what I saw in the game. In the game, I saw the Wolverines saying, number 34, can you make a play for us? And they kept going to him. He made the plays that he could make in situations where maybe he shouldn't even make the plays, and he looked good. It looked like if there was more firepower on the offensive side, he'd be a receiver we'd be talking about similar to maybe like Daniel Rubenstein from the ECA
Mhm.
Giants.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think he's technically their number one, but I think it's one of those situations of he only gets so many opportunities. But in this game, it looked like they gave him more, and he did really well with them. So I'm giving him 2 stickers. Next guy I have is Kahari Lane from the Steelers. Again, 12 for 17, 71 completion percentage. If you complete passes like that, I gotta throw you stickers because like it don't make no sense. And
Yeah.
that's just really good. I don't care who you playing. That's not easy to do when you're throwing less than 20 passes. It's really hard to get high percentages because you basically have to complete almost all of them. And
Yeah.
that's what he did. 17 passes, he completed 12. That's really good. And then he had 240 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now I didn't see all 5 of these touchdowns because again, once it was blowout, I stopped watching. But from what I saw, he was just really meticulous in this game and he was able to get it to everybody. Next guy I got with 2 stickers. I know I got a long list, but I don't care. Alpha Jallo from the Royals, 170 all-purpose yards. He had a 70-yard kickoff return. He had 6.5 tackles. They gave him a forced fumble. I don't think that was him. I think that was Victor Mountu, but that's okay. Stats are stats. Alpha Jallo is the most underrated player I've ever witnessed.
It's only because of who he's playing for, though.
I
It's
don't.
only because of who he's playing for. And I'm not saying it as a knock. Like the Royals
Mhm,
are, I look at them in a good light. Like they're not going to ever be, a lower tier team. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
But can you imagine if Alpha played for the Roosters or Corpio or the Crocs? Like Alpha would his stats would be crazy if he actually had a team that, was like, hey, we just need you to do this and do this great right here. And
Yeah,
and other people are actually making plays too. It'd be wild. Like it's kind of like when we seen him with in Sweden. My first time, and I talk about this all the time. My first time seeing Alpha was the NFL championship game. And
mhm.
I seen him on film. We watched film that week. I say, this dude got the juice. Like literally got the juice. And damn near cost us a ring. Like I knew he had the juice then, but just watching him over the years that he's been in Finland, like I was just like, man, like I know he's committed to playing, you know what I'm saying, for Watson, and that's cool and everything. And it is what it is. But like I just like, man, boy, just imagine if like he was if he was on one of these other teams, like we would see 25 touchdowns probably. easily 25 touchdowns a year.
That's what like aggravates me the most is like this year was probably like a step back for him statistically because they wanted him to focus on defense, and eventually he ended up doing what we all expected and playing offense anyways. But it's one of those situations where you look at somebody with a similar career path like Christian Powell, where every team he's played on has tried or attempted to give him the best supporting cast possible. There was one season where they basically said you're gonna have to do it, and that was when Spencer Cutler was the quarterback. I mean, it was a great year. I love that season.
And they almost, they almost did
it. They almost did it, but it was one of those situations where you knew that okay, they're gonna do this once, but they're gonna try. Like they had to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, and you don't feel that with what's going on with Alpha. Like, I don't feel like the team is trying to find ways to get him a ring. And if I'm him, and again, I'm not telling nobody what to do with their life. I mean, you ain't gonna get no younger. I say we start ring chasing, just real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. Take a season.
You don't want to waste his, and I don't want to say prime because I feel like he's just like such a good player. Like I think he got plenty of years to play. But like you just don't want to waste that juice though. You don't want to waste it. So it's like at least give him 1 year where you say, hey, we want you to play receiver and defense sometimes, but we're gonna get you a quarterback. Like we're gonna get you a solid quarterback who can get you the ball, and we're gonna have this guy import that we got coming in. So it's like actually giving you a chance to get a ring because recently they've just been doing enough to make the playoffs, and that's just not enough when you're talking about the top teams though. So I get you. I definitely get you.
I say it like this. I feel like if I was an organization and I had Alpha Jallo for more than 2 years, and I think next year he should become they're not doing a domestic rule anymore. So I don't think he can ever be a domestic. There's no only grandfather person in is CP. So with that being said, if I was running a team and I had Alpha Jallo on my team for more than 2 years and we weren't in a place where we look like we were going to win a championship, I would talk to everybody on that team and say, do y'all believe that it's worth it to go all in so we can get this man what he deserves? Like, can we find a way to go all in one season and give him everything he needs so that he can play at his best, we can look good, and if we got to suck after that, cool. We wasn't good before. Like, I mean, I think of it like I think about my LA Rams. We won a Super Bowl. We did some unreasonable things to get there. Didn't make sense. We technically paid for it afterwards, but I mean, we still got the ring. So
you did
I don't
care.
care.
At the end of the day, you're giving the Rams fan another 30 years of hope.
I tell people all the time, I was like, I got till 2050 to even start thinking about winning the Super Bowl again. Like, I'm not like when we make playoffs, I'm like, cha-ching, like that's a plus. Like I don't, if we never make playoffs for the next like 10 years, I'm cool because we did what we had to do to get the ring, and I think that's what a team should do for Alpha Jallo is go all in so this man can get a ring, or Alpha go find you a team that is on the brink. Just throwing that out there. All right, just throwing it out there. Ooh, digressing today. Oh gosh. I got 2 more names. I'll be quick. Two sticker, Deontay Sip from the Crocodiles. 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. Him and Christian Powell are having like similar seasons on maybe not the same type of teams, but like he's getting more carries, I think, and he's more of the focus, but he's consistently putting up 100, 150 every week. And this week was no different. And I mean, I give him them stickers because I have to. Like, he is the offense for the most part. Next guy I have on here is Chase McCoy, defense tackle from the Saints. He only had 3 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack. But if you watch the game, there was always pressure. There was always pressure. Now, credit to Ambrose for getting the ball out quickly, but it wasn't like he could have did anything else. I can't say besides maybe 2 or 3 times I've seen him actually escape the pocket, but number 68 was putting in pressure all game. So again, you're getting stickers for performance, and that's what I saw was great performance. All right. I got one guy for 3 sticker left. Do you have any other 3 stickers?
Well, I had Coleman, but we already talked about it anyway. So
Okay. Well, my 3 stickers should be quick and short, anyways. I'm gonna go Yuho Ongurvo, number 33 from the Tampa Bay Saints. Played safety in that game. Um, I've seen him throughout the season. I've seen the number 33 around the ball. In this game, he was always around the ball. The stats are wrong somewhere. I know I've seen him do a tackle for loss. I 100% remember seeing him rush off the edge and demolish some stuff. So I don't know where they put in his stats. But in this game, like, he really stood out to me on the defensive side for the Saints. Is he was finishing all the plays. Number 33 was there. He was making tackles. He was coming from the safety position. He even had a couple plays in coverage where he stopped them from catching the ball. I think he didn't get any PBUs for it, but he was in the way, or he took the ball away from somebody while they were catching it. From what I remember, number 33 was everywhere in this game. And I'm giving him 3 stickers because I feel like he played that well, that he was the driving force of that defense in this game. And I know it's a little bit under the radar, but Yuho, I see you, man. I see you. That's, I think, it for helmet stickers. Okay. Let's get into some win or loss here. Let me move this around. All right. We all know who technically got the dubs and whatnot, but let's talk win or loss from last week's game. I think we'll be quick with this because I think we want to talk about the playoffs more than anything. We had Porvoo Butchers versus Helsinki Wolverines. What were your thoughts? Who won or lost this one?
Portland Butchers win. Just another win on the belt. Another game. The Butchers have been playing consistently. They've been coached consistently throughout this year. When I glanced at the stats and I seen that the Butchers have like 3 or 4 people in the top statistics, whether it's touchdowns, passing yards, rushing yards, interceptions.
Did Jalen Todd play?
Jalen Todd. I don't think he played though. No, I don't think he. Yeah, I think because I've seen that's what made me say that. I've seen like a lot of younger guys playing. So, but even Mickey is leading the league in interceptions. Who would have thought that? And I'm not saying he's a bad DB, but look, the Butchers have everything that could possibly go good for them has happened this year, and it's just been good to watch. And you've been a Butchers fan for a while, so I'm always on the other side of it. The Butchers have always been in my Finland history. My first year, second year in the Maple League, when we played, we was going to the playoffs when I was coaching. We played. Well, we had Crocs one year, I believe, and we had the Butchers first round one year, and then with the Roosters, we had the Butchers the first round. So they've always been a team that's been in the mix. No matter what, they're pretty much always going to be up there, and it's just consistency. One of my old teammates, Yari Mournen, we called him Gravedigger. He played with me with the Helsinki 69ers. He's playing with the Butchers right now, offensive line. Sometimes, I think I've seen him at center. He plays guard. He can play tackle. This man has been playing since, I ain't going to tell you how old I am, but he's been playing a lot of years, man. but shout out to Yari. Shout out to Lassie, too, the coach. You know what I'm saying? He was my teammate, too, man. So it's good to see a lot of those guys, having success with the Butchers. And the Butchers just keep doing what they're doing. They're winning. And, they're gearing up for the playoffs, man. So, yeah, I ain't even going to waste no time on no win and loss. We know who won that game.
I think, just to throw in my little 2 cents, I do think that they handle it with class. It's one of those situations, end of the season, game does not matter. Do you play your starters? Do you sit them? Is that going to be good for your backups to get, garbage time? Are you going to be able to sprinkle them in? They did a really good job of kind of integrating their backups more than just having backups. Obviously, on the O-line and D-line, they really weren't able to put in a lot of backups. They didn't have that much depth, and those are positions that you can't necessarily just. There's too much. I don't want to say difference, but the other team were no slouches in those departments, so you couldn't just put in somebody green and hope that you're going to have success. But they did show that their secondary. It's not a strength per se, but they're giving people opportunity to find out where they can build from. They've got a lot of different guys rotating, and it looks like if I'm watching the Butchers from this season and you're looking at like cornerback play of all things, they got a lot of bodies coming and going. I think it has a lot to do with the schedules. I know some of these guys have to do other things, but also I think that they're doing a really good job of letting people prove what they can and can't do. It's one of those situations where we don't have a starter. We don't have anybody that we can bank on. So we're going to let everyone get an opportunity. You can get in there and show that you deserve it, or you can get in there and get beat. Either way, you're going to get in there. And we just seen them all. We have seen it all happen. We've seen some of them get in there and get beat. We've seen some of them get in there and get a play. I've seen, not to be too mean, but, I've seen Miko Sepinen go in there, lock some folk down. Seen Miko Sepinen get in there and walk to the sideline. I think this was one of those games where they had the perfect setup because the Wolverines are a good team, not a great team. Wolverines are a team that their backups were able to play solidly, and they were just good enough that they were able to still get the win, which ultimately is cool to go 10-0, but if they had went 9-1, they would not have felt like, oh no, the sky's dropping. So good on them, and definitely a win for them, an organizational win, if anything. Second game, Tampa the Saints versus Helsinki Roosters. Now I want to know, did the Saints win this one, or did the Roosters lose it?
Man, you know what? This was a hard game to watch as a fan. This was a hard game to watch for me, and the reason why is because I just feel like the Roosters did not play well at all. They didn't play well. It's something about Tampa Saints at home when they play at home too, that they got a different type of feeling. I think that's everybody. You play good at home.
They got a nice field.
But yeah,
them and Porvoo got some of the best home fields.
Yeah, they looked like a better team. The plays that they were making. I know we picked the Roosters to win this game. We picked the Roosters to win this game. So if I say that the Tampa the Saints won the game, then it sounds like the Roosters lost it. You know what I'm saying?
What happened in the game though? Like, did it look like the Roosters should have won and lost?
No, it did.
Or did it look
didn't.
like,
To me, no. It did. It did not look like the Roosters.
Then the Saints won. They won fair and square.
Yeah. I think the Saints won fair and square. Jesse did a great job of making the plays, enough plays to get that win. I mean, it wasn't a lot of points, but you didn't need a lot of points. And him and Collier, they have something special. Him and the tight end that we was talking about, receiver we was talking about earlier, Tuomo, like they have something special. I think they should sign both of them next year. I think both of them should be on the team next year. To give Jesse
quarterback and running back. Oh,
Jesse, the receiver, Collier. Yeah. I think they should sign them again, give them a full season together, and let's see what they can do with that. But I know that was a good win for them. I know it was a good win for them. Jesse told us that it was going to be different. You could see in his face, his eyes, everything. He was focused on, like, we're going to be different. And the Saints have looked like that. Like, yeah, they didn't win all the games after that, but, like, they look better as a team. You beat the Roosters. You beat them, you know what I'm saying, with their starting quarterback playing, with their starting running back playing, with their star receiver playing, the defense playing. You beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't take nothing away from them. The Roosters need to play better going into the playoffs. As simple as that. They need to play better. And the Saints took advantage of them not playing good, and they won the game. So, Saints won the game.
I respectfully disagree. Nonsense. Nonsense.
We supposed to.
Sorry. I guess I got to disagree. And you know me, I'm all in on the Butchers this year. It is what it is. But I've always liked the Roosters. I've always enjoyed. I mean, if there's anybody's games I actually go to, it's usually the Roosters, you know. And I just got to be honest. They lost this game because their defense played well enough to win.
Yeah.
And that's what the score was 13-9, if I'm not mistaken. The Saints scored 13 points in the first quarter. I got it in my notes. Hold up. 13-0 quick. Like they scored 13, and then the Roosters shut that ish down. They changed personnel. They brought in AFF favorite, actually Olin, brought him in as an outside linebacker. Jaakko Jokinen, for some reason, wasn't like on the field when they were scoring early or something. I don't know why, but they brought him back in, kind of put him as a nickel backer. So they had 6 DBs on the field for that spread offense. We don't see no more points for the rest of the game. For the rest of the game, we don't see any points from either team. That's a problem. I look at the Roosters. The Roosters go 6-4 on the season.
That's a bad
Am I right? No. They go 6-4. They went 6-4 on the season. They only gave up more than 2 scores. When I say 2 scores, they're giving up 9 points in games, 13 points in games. And the only time they're giving up more than that is 3 times the entire season. And they have 4 losses. And this is one of the times they didn't give up more than that. They have, I want to say 3 losses where they have given up less than 3 scores, and you're losing games. That's not a problem with you. Like the defense is doing as good as you.
Yeah, defense ain't a problem. Yeah.
So you gotta fix that. And in this game, for me, I think the Roosters. I'm trying to say it, the Roosters. I think they lost the game because both of these teams didn't look like, oh, we're much better or much worse than our opponents. Both of these teams offensively were able to move the ball. And when I'm watching the game, the ball is moving. Both of these teams defensively were able to buckle down and stop the ball. The issue I have with the Roosters is a lot of times for the Roosters, they were moving the ball and then they get into like situational plays and the play decision, the quarterback decision making, all that. It's easy to see that shouldn't have done that. You know, for the Saints, there was a lot of plays where it's like, that makes sense. I understand why you did it. It didn't work out. The defense did a good play. Not taking anything away from the Saints defense, but there was a lot of times, I'm sorry, the Saints secondary, one of the worst in the league, hands down. If you want to look at receiving highlights in the Maple League of 2025, you're going to see the blue jerseys on them. And in this game, Logan Collier, he's a difference maker. I get it. Now we can't give Bryce Nunley the ball the way we want to. I understand that. I respect that. You got to be better than that, though. I kept seeing number 82, Arthur Takampa, and number 22, I want to say Luka Koskinkati. I might be butchering his name. I'm sorry. But that's the DB from the Saints. Both young guys, just like Ambrose, a young guy. Ambrose kept saying, my guy's going to win. And he kept throwing it. You see a lot of incomplete passes, and it was to those 2 guys. Best game the defensive cornerback ever played in this season in the Maple League. Best game he's ever had. It looked like an all-star. He is not an all-star. He has not been an all-star all year. Again. And some reason the Roosters made him look like an all-star. I blame that decision-making. Now, if you can beat him all the time, beat him. But after a few tries, why are we still going there? Why are we still not getting the ball to Bryce Nunley a different type of way? And now I'm going after the play calling because you're obviously giving your quarterback the leverage of, hey, if you got a one-on-one, take the one-on-one. Well, we're not winning the one-on-one. Let's come up with an actual play, an actual strategy, get someone open. A lot of those times where he's throwing it up to this one-on-one, the receiver's not technically open. So you're just hoping your player's better. He's not. At that point, he wasn't. Or in that game, he wasn't. So you have to move on and get into your playbook. They never did that. A lot of 3rd and longs and 4th and longs not converted. And a lot of that is on decision-making and play calling. And for me, that's why the Roosters lost this game is I don't think that they made the right decisions. I don't think they made the right play calls to give their defense a chance to win this game because their offense just let them out to dry. Defense played a hell of a game worth saying that they won, and then the offense, did nothing. Okay, so that's all I'm saying about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so mean to the Roosters. I still like them. My daughter is always like, it's a red team winning, but just gotta be honest with them sometimes. Next game, East City Giants versus Kuopio Steelers. This one should be easy. What was the final score? You told me it was 63-0, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was somewhere up there. I think they might have scored once. I don't know. I don't even think they scored once, but I know once I seen 60-something, like, yeah, maybe 67-3. Let's go back to it.
60. Let me go look it up real quick. I mean, it was. What was it? It had to be like 21-0 when I stopped watching. Yeah, it was 21-0 in the first quarter, so I basically did not see that game.
They wanted no parts of
that. Oh yeah, it was 13-70. Woohoo! There's a 50 burger with lettuce, tomatoes double cheese, 2 patties. Gosh, that is ridiculous. Yes, I guess the Steelers kind of won that game. Did you see anything worth noting in it? All I seen was Greenfield doing this thing as usual.
They wanted no parts of Ethan Greenfield. No parts of him at all. Kahari Lane, from the beginning of the season to now, has really shown us a lot. He can handle that offense. I would be real skeptical. Not the Butchers, but whoever Scorpio plays in the playoff, I'd be real skeptical of thinking that the Steelers are going to be an easy win. And I don't mean just thinking like, oh, we got to stop Ethan Greenfield. You're going to have to stop Kahari Lane, too, from having a good game. Because if you don't, if he and Ethan Greenfield is playing good, they're going to be it's going to be a game. And I just like the way that he's not overly doing a lot of things bad, but he does more good than bad. So, like, he'll take a chance on maybe a throw that he probably shouldn't throw, but he doesn't do that a lot. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. And any offense that don't turn the ball over a lot, you got yourself a chance to win the game. So, yeah, but Scorpio, man, they beware in the playoffs of Scorpio.
Hey, they getting those stats up. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the stats. What we got? The next game, we have Wausau Royals versus Senyoki Crocodiles. Who do you think won or lost this one? I'm gonna let you run this one by yourself.
Crocodiles won, man. Come on, stop playing, man. Crocodiles, better team. Made a lot more plays. Just offensively, we've seen what we've been seeing from the Royals, man. They're trying to make things happen with what they have, but ultimately, when you're going against a defense like the Crocs have, it's going to be very hard to do. And the Crocs are top heavy, and when I mean say top heavy, means like their D line is like, even if you have a chance on offense, their D line is going to make sure that it's going to be hard for you to get anything. And that's what they did in the Royals, and they just made play after play after play after play, and the defensive line took over in that game. And hey, offensively, they didn't have to do a whole bunch because the defense just stopped everything. So, yeah, Crocs won fair and square. Another win for them. And Wausau still on the brink, on the brink of being a playoff team. But hey, you ran into the Crocs, and Crocs are a lot better.
Gotcha. Best thing about this game, I'm gonna look at my notes. Hold on now, I'll be taking notes. Best thing about this game was the Wausau Royals quarterback did not have a turnover. For the first time all season. Well, second time. I think he also had that one game where he threw for like 4 touchdowns. But that's why I was watching the whole game. I was like, when is he going to throw the pick? When is he going to fumble the ball? It didn't happen. And honestly, I felt like the Crocodiles were the better team, obviously. But the Royals played, what you can expect. If Alpha has a great game, you're in it. If he has an okay game, it is what it is. And that's how it went down in the Botnia Bowl for all the marbles. The better team won. I think in this one, a lot of turnovers though. That's what I did notice. A lot of turnovers. There was that one. I wrote it down. Sorry. There was that one play. It was a double fumble. So Tyler Riley Coleman strips the ball, and then Akano picks up the ball. That's why their stats were so crazy. He picks up the ball, and then somebody strips it from him. No, he was trying to throw it. I looked at it in slow motion. He actually was trying to throw it while he was getting tackled. And instead of it going to somebody from his team, the Royals ended up back with the ball. Just crazy. And then a lot of like the sacks and stuff were just outrageous for the Crocodiles. Like when Akano was coming off the edge, it was like nobody was near him. And he was just free range at the quarterback. He could have hurt somebody. But luckily he was going for the ball every time. And then with the PBU and stuff, I think this game went how we thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Did we all pick the Crocs? I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Except one person. I think
Ellie went with the Royals. She always trying to. She
always go against the grain though.
She be trying to. She be using
sometimes. She hit sometimes though. She be right though.
Yeah, that was 1 week. She got 2 upsets in 1 week. Shit. Man. But yeah, I guess that's it for those. I don't stick this too much. Let's talk about the playoffs, man. Let's get into it. All right, playoffs coming up. Let's take a look at the standings. Talk about possible outcomes. And you know what? Pretty much the season is over. I think next week we're going to talk more about players and playoffs, obviously, all into one show. What I like to do is I'll list the teams where they're ranked standings-wise right now and, like, what's the possibilities. But I'd like you to kind of give us a synopsis on what you think of their season this year. And I'll do the same. Does that make sense? Seem all right? So we'll start at the top and then work our way down. That's just how it'll go. So we can go. We'll start long and go shorter. So we got Poor Blue Butchers, first seed, 10-0, going to be playing at home against whoever they end up playing against. It looks like the Roosters right now. What are your thoughts on their season this year? They're done with the regular season.
On paper, from the jump, they had the better roster to me. On paper, talent wise, a lot of times when you see teams with a lot of names that a lot of big names, sometimes it's hard to get that chemistry. But with the coaches that they have and the organization they have, they made sure that everybody pretty much got their due. You know what I'm saying? And gave a lot of the younger guys, confidence when you playing with guys like Christian Powell, Aaron Bede, who are good leaders. You know, you never see them down. You never see them throw fits. You never see them just get out of their character. So when you on a football team and you got a lot of younger guys, that's who they see. That's the examples that you want. You want to see them, how they look when bad things happen. Do they drop their heads? Are they shaking their head? Are they cussing? Are they mad? Or what I'm saying? All season, all they seen was just positive reinforcement of being leaders. And this is why they keep continuing to win. And they've been the best team on paper and also the best team on the field every game this season. I can't remember a game where I just felt like, besides Scorpio, but I still felt like they were the better team, like overall better equipped team. Scorpio just played a good game against them. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's always been the Butchers and everybody else.
Agreed, 100%. Butchers and everybody else. My synopsis on them this season is they lived up to the hype. I remember earlier we were saying, I've been a Butchers fan for a long time. We've gone through a couple of phases. We used to call them that team from Dallas, and I think now it would be more appropriate to be like they're more like the Eagles. If I was to go NFC East type teams, because the Eagles used to be like good back in
Always
the
was
day.
NFC Championship, NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like they kind of went away for a while, and now they've won 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years and been to 3 or something like that in the last
Yeah.
like 10 years. Been to 3 Super Bowls in a 10-year span, and they basically retooled the team. I think that could go for that. If I'm not mistaken, I think one of the players for the Butchers is an Eagles fan. He knows who he is, so yeah, we'll start calling you guys the Eagles, man. But moving to the second place team at the moment, we don't know how this all going to shake out. San Diego Crocodiles 7-3. They look like they're going to be playing the Steelers no matter what happens. But if the Steelers win their game, then the Crocodiles will be the away team. Right now, they will be the home team. So, what are your thoughts about the Crocodiles 2025 season?
Man, you know what? Being that I didn't pick them to be one of the better teams, I did not know Tripp was going to be. I didn't know that he was that good. I probably should did a little more research on why they signed
It's
him.
hard to tell sometimes, though.
Yeah. It's like you don't know really at first, and then sometimes it take a little while for the offense to get going. But he has been a lot to deal with for a lot of these teams. Like he's been a lot to deal with, and they've pretty much did what they did with Christian Powell. They relied on their running game to get them and keep them in games, and that's what he did. Lyles has been a good quarterback too, also for them, and they're in a good position. Honestly, like they've climbed. You know what I'm saying? The last games, they pretty much climbed up to their spot. And the Crocs is just another one of those teams who's always in the mix, too. They always on the brink of possibly winning championships or going to the playoffs. So nothing that, surprised anybody when you look at that. But, I mean, we make the picks before the season. You just really don't know. But the Crocs have fought in every single game they've been in. They've clawed and fought in every single one. Didn't come out the winner in all of them, but they're a scrappy team. And you do not, I repeat, you do not want to play Sanioki in the playoffs. You
No, I
just
know you do
do
not.
not because I can guarantee you it's going to rain. I can guarantee you it's going to rain
In
in the
September,
playoffs
yep.
in Sanioki. So there's that one thing, you know what I'm saying? And they've done what they're supposed to do, man, and that's put themselves in position in the playoffs. And now it's time to to put up. So you kind of seen everybody that they've got a test of everybody that they're gonna have to play. And I think them and Corpio would be a good game. I actually think it'll be a real good game if it stays the way it is. Them having Corpio having to go there, it's not that big of a deal for them having to go to Sanyoki and vice versa, but I think right now they're the two unpredictable teams when it comes to what they're going to do in the playoffs, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I'm saying, like you can't take either one of those teams lightly, especially the Crocs with the defense they have, the defensive line they got. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, Crocs had a really good season. I'm sorry, but I feel like we talked about obviously, losing Christian Paul and Christian Arabide, but they also lost the Sarkula brothers. They also lost the Tapiola brothers. And I'm sorry, but those 4 Finnish guys are guys who those are juniors all the way. Like you invested in those
Yeah,
players.
yeah,
And I don't think the Tapiolas were juniors. I don't but either way, we've seen those 4 guys on their roster for years. So they're built into the culture of the team. And you take that away, we've seen it time and time again. You can bring in as many imports you want. If your team isn't a team, it's not gonna work. You can't just throw a whole bunch of import names on a team and think it's gonna work out. And they were able to find a way. One, bringing Akano back was key because I think it really just keeps that defense to a certain level. But kudos to them for a great job of recruiting in the offseason, both domestic and foreign talent, because they had to find both and gel it in a very short period of time. Hats go off to the new head coach as well for being able to make that all work in that system of we're going to have a really good defense and then we're going to run the ball. That's a hard sell nowadays. Like we're going to have a really good defense and run the ball. And that's what they're doing. And then you have a quarterback who he doesn't get as much opportunity or credit as some of the other guys in the league. But the few times where they're like, hey, you make a play, he makes a play. Like Brandon Kyles is a really good quarterback. We're just never going to get to see him at his full potential because of the scheme. And that doesn't take away from his leadership on the field because he makes sure that team is still doing what they have to do instead of him trying to, make something else happen that shouldn't happen. Like when he's given the opportunity to make plays, he does it. He does it within himself, within the system, without pushing too much. That's really rare to find from someone who's not from there. Like he's not from there. He's an import. You're here to be good, get paid, maybe move on. And he's able to kind of take a backseat to the running game, but when called upon, still steps up. I think that's really important for them, and they've done a really good job this season. Really like to apologize for saying they were coming. What we say, sixth place?
Yeah, I was just about to look. I was just about to look and see what I think it was like sixth place though.
Ooh, we had them down there. Oh, people were like, some disrespect.
Because I mean, losing Christian Powell and Aaron B. You like how are you gonna replace that? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And they lost their cornerback too. Their really good cornerback. He was very good. I forget his name, but they lost a lot of people. So it's really hard to just assume they're going to be able to refill those spots. But again, like I said, credit to them because they proved that Senioki going to be Senioki. I don't care who out there. Senioki going to be Senioki. And that's appreciative. Like you got to respect that. There's only one other team that you think about that you're like, oh, they're going to be them, and that's the Roosters. And now, I mean, I really feel like this is the season that Senioki has proven, like, hey, we're going to be Senioki. Now, just throw a little bit of shade in there. That don't mean you don't win no championship. But still, like, it is what it is in that aspect.
We had them at 6, man. So we had 2. Had the Saints at 4 and the Royals at 5. So,
basically, we confused the Saints and the Crocs. I think if we would have stuck with, if we would have knew more about the Crocs, I think we would have went along that route. I mean, we just didn't know about neither one of those teams well enough, and we were basing it off of stuff from last year. But the next spot is
we got 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
So
we got 3 out of the 4, right? The next spot we got is Kuopio Steelers. They're 6-3. They still got 1 game, and they own the tiebreaker over the Crocodiles because they beat them in the head-to-head. So if they win next week, they'll be the 2 seed. Right now, they're the 3 seed. What are your thoughts on their season?
Man, you know what? I want to say this. While I'm looking at our predictions, I forgot that you posted all of our picks and then what you total. So Chris actually picked all 4 right.
Wow.
He had Butchers first, Roosters, Steelers, Crocs. So he picked the right 4 teams. So he actually picked it right on his. So shout out to Chris for that. But speaking of Kuopio, I don't think we thought they were going to be a lower tier team at all. Because obviously Coach Manley's a good coach and able to call the defense, call offense. He can do it all. So he got He got Ethan Greenfield, who he knew could be productive. That was a big signing right there, who he knew could be productive. Kahari Lane has made a name for himself. To me, I would consider him probably the number 2 quarterback in the second best quarterback in the league. And he's proven that. He doesn't have big games where I think like when I look at him, I don't look at like, oh, he's just a thrower. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. I see him. He knows when to move around. He can run. He can get out of the pocket and he can hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And he can make the plays, with his arm too. So Kuopio, like I said, I wouldn't want to play Kuopio in the first round of the playoffs. I just would. And that's because they have so many options. They're not equipped like the Butchers. But if you had a tier down, they do have guys all on their offense who can hit at any time, who can score at any time, put in the right situation. Isaac Marshall, Noah Choke, Quick, like they got guys that 1-on-1, if you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, they can't score on you and hit you big. So with that offense and having Ethan Greenfield in the backfield, they're not a team that you can just slouch on. And if they get up early, you're gonna be in trouble if you can't throw and match their passing offense. So the Steelers, I'm impressed with what they've done. I mean, they're solidified now as one of the organizations in the Maple League who's always probably going to be good, and they're probably always going to be a contender. And they didn't show anything different to me this year. I haven't always been the biggest Scorpio fan in recent.
You don't believe in the dynasty. You don't believe in the dynasty.
Yeah, I mean they've won. I respect ballers, and I don't want to take anything away from Scorpio. But they've put together some nice teams, and even Callahan. I got to talk about him and what he brings to that defense, and man, just a good linebacker and like another good example of an import. I always say they pay you to make plays, man. They pay you to be above average. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an import and they paying you, they want you to show up every single game, and in your mind, you should want to show up every single game in a positive way. And I believe that's what Callahan has done, and with him on the defense. He's going to give you everything he got, and with Scorpio's defense being the way that it is, obviously they don't have like the best of the best DBs and safeties and stuff like that, but they do have aggressive guys on defense and guys that can make plays. You know what I'm saying? They're not the worst of DBs or anything like that, but they actually have a nice core of guys who, if they play their A game, they play really well. So Scorpio, shout out to them for being where they at right now.
As you were talking, you kept talking about like you basically were comparing them and kind of like the butchers, like the difference of like talent level and what was going on in my mind. And go with me if you're a college type of guy or anybody that like watches college football. A lot of people in Europe don't, but I would label the butchers, the Alabama of the league. If we're gonna like act like the league is like SEC. And then you would have the Steelers would be Auburn. It's a team that they're not normally like, oh, we're the best. Like, obviously they have great talent, but you don't expect them like outside of the SEC. People don't look at Auburn and like, oh, they can beat Alabama on a regular basis. But if you go to teams in the SEC and you ask both of those organizations, Auburn be putting belt to ass on Alabama a lot of times.
I'm an Auburn fan.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where you're like, maybe Alabama gets like 50 guys to the NFL, Auburn gets like 25, but every once in a while they meet up and Auburn gonna walk away with that thing.
Yeah, they gonna win. Like they probably not gonna beat everybody else in the SEC, but when it comes to Alabama, they gonna play them.
And it's one of those situations where they might not have on paper, even if you watch the game, like as much talent or as good players, but they have enough talent and enough players that you catch them on the right Saturday, they will win that game. And I think that's a good metaphor for the Steelers is that going into the season, the rankings, we get a lot of feedback and, I can't believe y'all did that or da-da-da. Almost everyone I know around or a fan of like the Steelers, they're like, I see why you put them at 3. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, well, that's weird that you think it makes sense to be 3 because obviously y'all want to be 1. But the sense I got from a lot of like the players and coaches that I talked to was that, we understand that y'all have us at 3 because we haven't proven anything. And we also understand why you don't have us at 1 because, that team has all the accolades and the other team won a championship. We didn't do that last year, but we know what we have. So we're going to, prove you wrong or right. I was like, man, that is a progressive way of thinking because plenty of Rooster fans were upset that we had him at 2. Like, how could you? How dare you put the Roosters at 2? That's crazy. How could you? How? What? I was
Yeah,
like, I mean, you saw the names, like, like that's
yeah.
crazy. We
You
won a
can't, you
championship.
can't, you can't go against those names that they had on paper. Like you just couldn't.
That's all we did. We just went with
Yeah,
what we saw, and then a lot of the Steelers fans and players and stuff were really like, "That's okay," and I think that's something that is very Auburn like. When I think about it, is like, yeah, everybody might not know what we got, but we know what we got, and that's how
yeah,
the Steelers kind of went about this whole season. I think them having that break in the middle of the season, bad for me because it made me forget how good they were, but good for them because I think it really gave them a driving force to finish strong. And I feel
yeah,
like they're finishing very strong this season. They're easily the most polished team at this point of the season, even over the Butchers at this point. Like
yeah,
the Butchers have had some, up and downs or not consistencies. The Steelers full throttle, they're ready to go into the playoffs. So how they finish this last game is really going to like tell on that. But after we have them, we have the fourth spot, Thinky Roosters. Technically 6-4 right now. I I think they're locked into the fourth spot unless the Steelers lose.
mm,
If the Steelers lose, I think they own the tiebreaker,
mm.
and that would put them in third place. If the Steelers lose to the Wolverines, let's remember who they're playing.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh,
So I don't know how likely that is,
yeah. So right now they're
but
probably
they
gonna be
do.
four.
Yeah, probably going to be four. What do you think about their season so far, the way it went?
I don't think it's a typical Roosters season. I didn't think it would be. I mean, obviously that I always will put them up there because I think as an organization they know how to compete from season to season.
Yeah.
But when I look at the roster and I look at the development of the younger guys, you see spurts of uh, of guys that can make plays. But when the guys that actually been around the Roosters, people that actually have watched the Roosters over the years, there have been guys that played for the Roosters who were menaces, like Finnish guys who were dominant players who every single game they made an impact on the game. I think ever since Renee Rotherman left, the Roosters offense has changed ever since he left.
100% agree. God
100%.
damn it,
Yeah,
you
it's
said it
like
right.
ever since he left, Dave just looked it totally different. Like it's like, man, and Ambrose and Ambrose like sometimes he looks real good, and then there's times where I'm like, that's beginner mistakes right there. Like you shouldn't be making these mistakes. And I know that's like we always talk about growing
Also,
pains.
everybody should know you judge him very difficultly. Like you judge
Oh
him very
yeah, 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 yeah,
Q is very tough on the quarterbacks from the Helsinki Roosters every year. So like
yeah,
hold
yeah.
them to a very high standard.
Yeah, but just because of the line of quarterbacks that have played
Yeah.
for the Roosters, and it's just the expectations of even the organization. They expect their quarterbacks to play at a certain level. You know what I mean? No
Mhm.
matter what. And I think with him winning a championship, it kind of gave him like, all right, yes, you're the guy, but they dropped down. You know what I'm saying? They've dropped down as an offense, and it starts with the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like it's the quarterback is going to take all of that heat, rightfully, but they're going into the playoffs, and I expect them to give more than what we've seen these past few weeks. And as far as the season, I can't say it's a. I mean, a 6-4 season for the Roosters is unheard of. Though I'm gonna just be honest, like it's unheard of. I don't remember the last time they lost 4 games in a season. I just don't. It's been
They
years.
went
Um,
8-4 a
maybe
while back, but that's different than 6-4, you know?
yeah.
It's much different
It's like
feel.
you're really like in the middle. You know what I'm saying? You're really in the middle. That could have went either way pretty much. But I think that being that they've been to the playoffs so many times and over so many years that they prepare different for the playoffs. They won't maybe be the team that we've been seeing the inconsistencies on offense. But then again, if it stays like it is and they have to play the Butchers, we it's gonna be it's gonna be something to see. I'll just say that. Like I wouldn't, like I said before, I wouldn't want to start the first. I wouldn't want to play the Butchers the first game. That's me. Um, but if I'm the Butchers, I would want to play the Roosters the first game. I'll say that. I would want to play them the first game because I wouldn't want them to get any confidence by beating Corpio or beating the Crocs and being like, hey, now you don't. Roosters championship game team is different than what we've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? But overall season, I wouldn't grade it the one of the best I've seen or whatever. Like it's a new culture, and I don't mean like they expect something different. It's new faces. It's a lot of younger faces. It's a lot of new guys and younger guys who have to develop and who have to become better football players. And that's just what it is. And we're watching it, in real time. And you want them to be great right now, but it's just football player. Football doesn't go like that. You have to develop. You have to work on your craft. You have to be coached well. So, I think they're right where, they're in the playoffs, and they're not. They're not like the better team of everybody else. They're right there in the mix. Like we said, it's the Butchers and everybody else. So 2, 3, and 4, they're all right there in the same mix. And I won't say a bad season, but it wasn't a great one either.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my college analogy because you was being real polite there, man. This would be more like another Alabama team, the new Alabama team, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This would be like the new now everybody has the same resources that they have or the same caliber players, and you're finding out that you're not as dominant as you once were because the playing field has been leveled, NIL, all that crap. Obviously, that's not the case, but I do think that it's a situation of generational shift. The song Kendrick Lamar, They Not Like Us, comes to mind over and over about this generation. And I think when you look at the Roosters and those young players that you're looking at, taking away Renee Raltonen, because when you looked at Renee Raltonen, he had a different drive to him. He was a different type of kid. And when you look at the rest of, I would say, his class or his peers, also Renee Raltonen is originally an East City Giant player. Just throwing that out there. That's where he played his juniors. The rest of these, again, kids for the Roosters that are now taking over the starting roles and they're the guys, I think they have the same expectation of past generations of we're going to win, we're doing things the right way, but I don't think they have the same follow through and drive. I think it's a situation we've seen for the last few years. Whenever the Roosters look like they're in trouble, they always go backwards, not forwards. If something goes wrong, all of a sudden we start seeing people. Sampo shows up. Pekka Rantanen is now coaching. Oko Otanen is now back on the field. Oxley Olin will show up every once in a while to do his thing. They go backwards. They go looking for what used to work. And the issue with that is it doesn't help the youngsters go forward. No one's getting better by you constantly going backwards and saying this is how they did it because they're a little bit older, more experienced. And this team this season, they saw that they weren't able to go back as much. I don't think they were able to do that this year. There's not a lot of going back. They just kind of played what they have. And they saw where they really stand. And 6-4 is accurate of their season. That's how it should have went the way that they played. Is defensively, they played good. But when you look at their defense, I said it earlier, the defense played good enough to win. They've keeping teams to 2 scores. But also, there ain't nothing special about that defense. They're not creating turnovers. It's not like they're going out there smacking folks, putting the offense on the 5-yard line and then saying, oh, y'all can't score. No, they're letting teams drive the field and then holding. And then their offense has to drive the entire field. It's still complement football. Offense isn't doing their job, but the defense is doing bare minimum. And that's the thing that we did not see in the past. Like you said, the Roosters used to have menaces. There used to be someone on the offensive side that would get an interception and score. or someone, I mean, on the defensive side that would get an interception and score, and someone on the offensive side who at any point could score. You know, they really lean on Lassi Payar and then to be that guy for them offensively. And I've said this before, and again, it's no shade to him. He's not that guy. I think he's great. He's a great high caliber player, but he's not the guy that you give the ball to and you're going to get points. Now, if you give it to him enough, yeah, he's going to get in there. But that's their whole scheme. Like, all their players are volume players. All their, like, top end players outside of Bryce Nunley, if they get enough reps, yeah, they're going to score points and get you down the field. But they don't have anybody on 3rd and 13 that they're going to be like, okay, we're going to make a play for him. We're going to get this guy open. Take away Bryce Nunley. On that base talent, they don't have anything. Not even at quarterback. They don't even have a quarterback who you can say, hey, man, we ain't got nothing. We need you to draw something up in the dirt and make it happen. There's no Miro the hero. Like, they don't have that.
Right.
I know me and you sound like old heads because we keep, like, naming all these, like, legends from the Roosters, but I got to be honest. You're not making us think of anyone else. Like, right now, the most dynamic player that we've named is playing in the UK at NFL Academy, and that's Renee Ralton.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily from the Roosters.
Yeah.
He joined them last year for the first time. He grew up as an East City Giant guy. So it says a lot about what they're doing on the youth level recently, or where's the disconnect. There's some issue, and this season it came to a boil because now we get to see the Roosters and what they kind of gonna look like in the future. Yeah. When I say that, I don't mean it like, oh, they're gonna be average. I mean, last year they won a championship. This year, probably not. Next year, maybe championship. Like, I think it's gonna be an up and down tenure more than the steady championships that we saw in the past. So I think they played a decent season. Oh, go ahead.
And it's like we're used to seeing them like international play teams. That's another thing. This team right here is not ready to play anybody international. No. Nobody. And it's
well. Let me, if I'm not mistaken, last time they played international, they got spanked by Schwäbisch Hall, right? And they ain't went back since.
Yeah.
They beat the Sweden team last time they played them.
Yeah, but I mean, like Austria, like they never going to take this team right here. They wouldn't take them to Austria. The Vikings.
Oh yeah, when they played Vienna too. Yeah. I don't think. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a lot of teams in Finland that can play on the international level because of the rules. Because the rules atone for you having to use a lot of Finnish talent, and those, again, we're going back in the past, but those old Rooster teams had such good Finnish talent that they could do that, and they were almost the only team in Finland able to do that. I wouldn't say any team in the Maple League right now has that decent of talent on the Finnish side to be able to just go compete internationally like that anymore. And that's not a knock on anybody, but I don't think similar to what we were saying earlier in the show about like ELF, GFL, and all that. I think the Maple League is set up for the Maple League, and I'm cool with that. I think like we have to kind of let go of the idea of like international play if we're going to try to play competitively in the Maple League. I think a lot of these teams are trying to, win this league, which means you need to get guys from other countries and foreign backgrounds so that you can compete, while the Roosters are kind of still thinking that we can do it with what we got. That's another thing. Like, they don't have a lot of international players on their team. They never really have. But also, they haven't needed it. And I think they need to look hard in the mirror and be like, what do we need now? Because also, if you look at like juniors, their juniors programs, I think they won one of the divisions this year. But recently, East City Giants, Walsall Royals, even the City Crocodiles have been kind of winning the juniors divisions, which means their juniors are a little bit more ready. But the Roosters have still been, loading up their team with young players. But these aren't young players that were dominant when they were juniors. These are young players that were just playing, and now they're just playing in the Maple League. Yeah, I feel sad about that because, again, I do like the Roosters. My daughter is forever a Roosters fan. She always rooting for the red team.
Too.
So I do hope that they – yeah. Yeah, I do. I do hope they get better. We're gonna continue going to those games. But let's drop to the
Yeah.
bottom of the standings now. Fifth place, Wausau Royals, 5-5, the exact middle where we always thought and knew they would be. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on their 2025 season?
That's my thoughts right there. You just said it. You just said my thoughts right there. I mean, they were exactly who we thought they were going to be. They were
Oh, I'm so
they
glad you
ended
said
up
that.
exactly where. Yeah, that's it. Like I mean, they easily could be 2 or 3 if they would have had a quarterback. I would say easily, but it would have gave them a better chance. I'll say that. It would have gave them if they Timothy Moravec again. They in a better position than what they is right now.
They
And
probably make
I'm shocked my
playoffs. They
boy out
probably
because
beat
that's
the Roosters
right.
twice. Yeah, they probably make playoffs because they probably would
Yeah,
have beat the Roosters twice, and they would have beat the Saints the last time. No, they did beat the
yeah.
Saints last time. So never mind. Yeah. My thing about the Royals, I mean, like, I'm not gonna get into this with the Royals. First of
Yeah.
all, stop sending us stuff when y'all win and then ghosting us when y'all lose. Cause it's 50-50, right? Like
Yeah. We
crazy.
can
Like
take it.
they beat the Saints and all of a sudden people are back in my inbox. Like, where you been? What? Okay. But it's just crazy. To be realistic about this team, I feel like they overperformed. I'm gonna say
Wow.
this: take Alpha Jallo off this team, and they win 3 games.
Mm,
That's it. I'm
mm.
that Wolverines game. He won that game. I don't care what you say. He had
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, 2 kick returns, and then somewhere in the mix, you could easily say one of these games that they won. If he doesn't get an interception and it return for a touch, like is easily like a lot of their wins come from him being on the team, not even
Yeah.
playing like offensive defense, him being on the team. So if you take him off of this team and imagine if this team tried to play football with a import that could only play one side or who wasn't alpha. And what if they got another DB that wasn't a kick returner? Or what if they got a linebacker or a D lineman instead? Like that it would never work out. They would get 3 wins. This would have been a 3-win season. They wouldn't have beat. I don't think they would have beat a lot of the teams they played. I don't want to get into specifics because I don't want to be just saying, oh, they wouldn't beat this team, that team.
Yeah.
But the few games where Alpha goes crazy, take away those games. And if he hadn't have went crazy, if he would have just been average, they lose. They don't just not win, like they lose because the team is not built to win. It's built to survive. And that's what 5-5 team does. They survive. And that's what they did this year. They survived. They survived the season. They won a few games. They beat one team that is above them in the rankings.
Yeah.
And that was a 9-7 game. They beat a team that could not score 10 points.
Yeah.
I don't know what you could be excited about. Same thing when they beat the Saints. You beat a team that has 2 wins. And they obviously beat the Wolverines and they beat the
Mm-hmm.
Giants. Congratulations. You beat all the teams at the bottom. And you are in the middle because you are mid. That's where mid is, in the middle. But that's how they played all season. So, yeah, they lived up to it. That's why our best prediction. Everybody had them at 5. I don't think anybody had them anywhere else besides 5. Most predictable
Yeah.
team we can think of. Now, let's drop to the bottom. Technically, in 6th place right now is the Giants at 2-8. EC Giants, what do you think about their season this year?
I think it was a productive season, honestly, to be honest. Because I said I had high praises for them when they first came in. I was like, what are you looking to win a championship? No. What you're trying to do is get a couple wins, get your feet wet in the Maple League, and that's what they did. That's what they did. I think they realized like what they need as a team to be able to compete against the better teams. But in the midst of that, you gave your guys and organization something to hope for because you won some games. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's yeah, you're gonna get blown out. That's part of it, but it's not a total loss. Like to me, ECG, I'm feeling good about because they can make a decision and say, hey, this was a great experience, but maybe we're a little better in Division One. Maybe we want to stick maybe this level, or they can say, well, all right, let's try to get some more local talent, or let's try to get some other guys to come here and make us better or whatever. But um, they had the type of season that I expected them to have. I'll say that. I'm
Yeah.
not disappointed. I'm more positive for them because of like what they showed up and was able to do. Um, so yeah, I think they had actually. It sounds like bad by saying they had a good season, but when you think about it, they really did. I mean, they weren't expected to be
Yeah, I agree.
the best team. Yeah, So yeah, I say it was a good season for them.
Yeah, I would say this season definitely was a success. I mean, I going into the season, I thought they might beat the Wolverines, maybe, and that was about it. Like, did not think that they would one compete. They competed very well, despite the blowout
Mhm.
games that they had. Like when they were competing, you could see a team that okay, they might not have the talent or experience now, but this team could progress. And then I think a really bonus for them this year. I don't know how it really works with like the recruitment and stuff. They look like a better place to play if you're in the Helsinki area. Like
Yeah.
just thinking like if you're a young player and you want an opportunity, that seems like a better like place to go than obviously the Wolverines, but also like it even seems like a better place to go than the Roosters because Roosters kind of have like a system and you kind of know who's going to be where already based on previous things. So if you're not like an outlier, like you got guys who okay, I'm good, but I haven't proven anything. Maybe I'm not as good as some of these guys yet, but I could be, but I need the opportunity. EC Giants look like the best place to go because you're going to get an
Mhm.
opportunity. They're pretty much playing everybody they have, and they kind of have to. And then they're going to have a lot of guys that have to go to the army and go to school and all that stuff. So like they schedule wise, they end up playing guys no matter what. So definitely a successful season for them. And then the 2 wins is, I mean, it's a bonus because again, they had won 0 games but competed. I think they would have felt like, okay, we know what we got to do. We're not way off, and even this year, they're not way off. They know that a few spots need to be improved, a few spots they can improve, and I think they'll go into next year thinking maybe playoffs, if not playoffs, a shot at it. We're around the cusp. We're playing all the way till the last game of the season, thinking of ways to get in. Going to the next team, who comes after them? Another 2-win team, the Tampa Bay Saints. What are your thoughts on their season? Because this was different.
I picked them. I thought they were going to be a lot better. Just
Mm-hmm.
giving off of like the guys that have been playing together so long. But at the same time, it's a learning season for them too. To realize like, hey, we need to get better at these things, and maybe they probably should have made that move, like I said, for Collier earlier. And I think this season is a little different. I think they're in the mix then if they have Collier a little earlier. But that's just part of being in the Maple League and realizing like you have to start before everybody else starts because you don't want to get in a position where you got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Not with these new divisions and stuff like that. You don't want to put yourself behind at the beginning. So yeah, it's a learning curve for them. But I was impressed by a lot of guys that showed up for them. Um, and I think with a little more help, a couple more players, they could be in that same mix as where Watson usually is.
Yeah.
And now we got 6 teams that we think can possibly be in there. So I think it'll be better for the league. Tampa Bay Saints definitely belong in the Maple League, but they just have to now. Those general managers and those coaches have to now put together that type of team that's going to keep them in games and give them a shot in games. But I was impressed, but at the same time, I expected a little more too.
Yeah.
But it was they were fun watching this season.
Yeah. I think for me, same thing. Like going into the season, they were underwhelming at the beginning. And I think it was like what you said, they just didn't have the talent. And it was one of those things of it took them a while to realize they didn't have the talent. If they would have realized earlier, maybe they could have shook things up a little differently. But at the same time, it's what similar to what I was saying about the Roosters is you go into these seasons thinking that you're good or you have good positions and you're not. Reminds me, and now I'm gonna tell an anecdote because why not? Reminds me of the one season I played in Italy where we had an off season leading up to the season. This was when you could have 3 Americans on the field at the same time, so it was crazy. And I was an American playing defensive back, and the other team had an American receiver. And before the game, I talked to the coach, the defense coordinator. I say, hey, for this game, should I be, shadowing the American and guarding him? And the coach says, well, in practice, we've done a really good job with you staying on one side and letting our Italians play over there. I was like, but that was in practice, coach. Like, we ain't played no game. Like, even in practice, I'm just, chilling. And the other American that's playing receiver for us, I'm pretty sure he was just chilling too. I don't think he was trying to work nobody. And the coach like, no, don't worry about it. I trust him. I think we're good. By halftime, that American receiver had 3 touchdowns on our Italian DB. He had 3 touchdowns. And then the coach was like, oh, go guard him now. And I was like, okay. And then by then, they took him out the game because they won. Yeah. They beat us by like 6 touchdowns. Yeah. I was like, why didn't we do that? And after that game, I only guarded the American receivers for the rest of the season. Like, there was no discussion. Yeah. Like, every game, they're like, that's what you got. And it was just one of those situations that reminds me of this is you go into the season thinking, well, we did well in Division I. We're dominant in certain positions. We can be okay. We've played against some of these guys on national teams, so we know what our talent level is. And then you get in the Maple League, and you find out that the talent you got ain't the talent you got. It's different. There's a lot of players, from my experience, that you got a lot of guys who they played against each other in juniors, they played against each other on national team camps, and they're like, oh, we're similar talent. And then you go out to the Maple League and you find out that their talent is utilized differently there. You got guys who you're running a 3-4 on your club team, you're running a 4-3 on nationals, and then when you play in Maple League, you're running a 4-2-5. So if you play outside linebacker, those 3 different spots. And so I'm accustomed to this outside linebacker being this type of player. And then when I play him in the Maple League, he's a totally different guy. And I can't compute how do we compete against that because I haven't realized that my talent isn't where I thought it was. And I think that's what the Saints ran into is that they thought their talent was better than what it is. And I think they found that out this season, and going into next season, we're going to find out what do they really think about it. Are they going to do an internal audit and say, hey, we got to get better or we got to replace these guys? Or are they along the lines of thinking, well, we'll get better with time? Hopefully they don't think they'll get better with time because the offseason won't actually make you much better talent-wise for this type of football. Now, if you go and get you 2 more Logan Colliers, yeah, that's much better with whatever time you want to spend. But if you think just practicing and getting better reps in offseason is going to change that difference, it won't. So I think that they had a decent season. I would give them the same thing for ECU Giants. I would say it was a success. You got your feet wet. You got to feel what happened. You got a couple of wins. You have confidence going into the offseason. Now you got to get back to work. And I guess now we'll do the last place. Helsinki Wolverines. What do you thought about them?
I think they ended up exactly where I thought they were going to.
You know what?
Not taking these.
A lot of Wolverines were upset at our rankings. Like, how do you have us in last? Then we have them in last. We had them in last, right?
Yeah.
Or like almost last or something like that. I had a lot of people hit me up like, I can't believe that you think that they're going to be better than us. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
The most right now, the Wolverines are the most unserious team in the Maple League.
Mm.
Um, the most unserious because I don't know what you guys are trying to do. Like I really don't know what you're trying to do. Like if you're just trying to play football, then go to the first division.
Yeah, why not? I
Otherwise,
think that's
guys
fine.
that yeah, like that would be cool. Like that's cool if that's what you want to do. But if you're not going to take the Maple League serious, just go to Division One, and that's probably where you'll do better at. You guys will probably play against other guys that are on that level, and you'll be in the mix probably of even winning the championship. But like if you're going to be in a Maple League and this is the teams that you're going to put together, and this is what you're going to give fans, and you're going to give the league, like it just doesn't look good. And I don't even know no other words to say. You have a lot of younger guys who have great talent and can be really good players for your team, but the organization has to actually treat this team like they're serious about winning and about these guys getting better. Because what's going to happen? Solomon is going to make a decision one day that he's tired of losing. Versus 90, he's going to make a decision and say he's tired of losing. They want to win. They go out there and they give them they all. They're going to want to win one day. And what's going to happen is now you're going to look up and they're not going to be there. Because best believe if I was still coaching right now, Solomon, hey, I'm telling them right now, I don't care if we got to pay him or whatever. I want him on my team. I want Virginia
Okay.
on my team.
Okay.
Because these are guys who we know can make plays. We know they want to play. And they just want to get better. And when you're going out there and Rash, all love to him and what they trying to do, man. But at some point, he's not Kahari Lane. He's not Kyle's. He's not Aaron. Nowhere near Aaron B. Day. He's not nowhere near any of the top quarterbacks. So, being that he isn't on that level, it's no knock against him. But like, if you're trying to compete, you have to put somebody better there and have him as a backup for when you need him. Otherwise, you're gonna keep having seasons like you're having right now and it just isn't. It's not fun to watch the Wolverines, and it just sucks because if I feel like that, people that actually go to the games probably feel like that too, and it's like we don't have a chance. You know what I mean? Unless you're playing against, they probably only feel good when they're playing against ECG. You know what I'm saying? Or the Saints, like they feel like we got a chance, but like you want to compete with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But Wolverines, hey, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I'm only a call away. So if y'all ever want to change the organization around, hit me up and we'll put together something. But they probably won't do it, and it's all right. Much love to them either way, but they just not taking this serious. That's just my
I,
opinion.
I tell you, I have a decent relationship with a lot of the younger players from the Wolverines, and they're some of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. Some of the coolest guys, even like Solomon Fiso that you're talking about, great kid, got a heart of gold. Every time I see them, I be trying to tell them, why are y'all still here? Why? And no disrespect to the Wolverines organization. Honestly, I'm not in the meeting rooms and nothing, so I don't know what's going on. But I know this. I know it is a waste of some of these players' time to consistently be the best player before you're supposed to be the best player. It's the hardest thing to deal with
Yeah,
is when you're
yeah,
the best player in a sport where there's not consistent coaching. Like if you go to the Helsinki Roosters and you're not good, you're gonna get coached up. You're gonna get better.
yeah,
If you go to
yeah.
the Helsinki Wolverines and you're not good, you're not gonna be good. Like that's how it
Yeah.
goes. If you're really good, I promise you, without Darius Lewis being there this season playing safety, Fiso Salama at practice, he runs the drills. He probably has to come up with what the defense does on the back end because there's no one there to develop these young players. Like you said, a lot of talent in the Wolverines organization, but I would go where you can win as well. Why play for a team that isn't trying to win? And from what I've been told, is playing a quarterback who's probably the third best quarterback. Word is that the backup Finnish guy is actually better than the guy they've been playing. And then we also, anyone who, us old heads know that Cedric Johnson actually played
Shit,
quarterback in
Fed
the
better
Maple
than
League.
that. Fed can do better.
D-
Fed can do better than
Didn't
what they doing.
didn't he win a championship with the Butchers at quarterback, or was it
Yeah,
Wolverines?
yeah. I think he won one. Shoot, he won one. I'm pretty sure he won one or two with the Butchers.
Yeah, at
Um,
quarterback. Yeah,
and then won one with the Wolverines,
yeah,
and been in the mix of a lot. Like said, when he was a quarterback, he was in the mix of a
yeah.
lot of championships. Like so, like I mean, obviously, he on the back end of his career, he probably just want to have fun and play now. So he probably don't want to play quarterback, but like he
I'm
do better than what they doing right now.
I'm sorry, but like that's crazy because anyone who's ever played quarterback in Europe, no offense, but playing quarterback compared to playing receiver in Europe, longevity, like quarterback actually a little bit easier. You got and he out there running receiver. So that means something must be very wrong with either like how they run the offense or something, or they just really don't
Mhm.
want anyone else to be the quarterback, which doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And again, if anybody knows the reasoning, please let us know. We would like to know because people keep asking me. I've had people send me messages. What's going on with the Wolverines? How the hell am I supposed to know? I'm just doing the
We
podcast.
don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know what's going on with the Wolverines, but yeah, that's all the teams. We went through all of them, huh? Yeah, this worked out. We got a little bit of time. We'll do the matchup after this one. Yeah. All right. Only one game this week. Won't take long to talk about it. That's why we did the whole like end of season thing. Uh, on Saturday. Saturday there'll be Helsinki Wolverines versus Kuopio Steelers primetime game. I think it's like 4:30 or 4 o'clock, something like that. Storyline or question for this one, Q?
I think Corpio will handle this pretty early. Try to go up pretty early, and to put the Wolverines in a position where they have to throw the ball a lot. Um, Obviously, I think Corpio wants to win the game, so they're gonna do what they need to do to win. But for the Wolverines, it's just more like they're trying to probably do what they've been doing, just trying to see what happens. But for the most part, I expect Corpio to win this game. Whether Ethan Greenfield plays or not, I think they still win. So yeah, I don't want to waste that much time talking about them after we just talked about them. But yeah, I mean, Corpio gearing up for the playoffs, but at the same time, you want to go in there healthy. So just get up early. Maybe have Isaac Marshall play running back a little bit too. Maybe the other bigger guy, that's the other running back, let him play some.
Yeah, they
So
got Capper too.
um,
Yeah, the Casper
yeah.
guy.
So yeah, I
Oh,
think this will be a smooth game.
yeah, I agree. I think they'll do it differently than the Butchers. I think they'll go out, put their foot on their neck early instead of letting them hang around. I don't think they'll. I think they'll put
Yeah.
it in the backups, but I think it'll be one of those. We're up by 40, and now we put it in the backup for the second half because they're still gearing for the playoffs, and they're going to be the only
Yeah.
playoff team that kind of gets to gear up for the playoffs with an actual game. And again, the Wolverines, they're
Mhm.
not slouches. Like, they're a good team. So you might not even be able to put up like 40, 50 points, but you could probably get up 3 scores on them, force their offense to be null and void, and then work your way out of it for the Steelers. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go outside the box for the Wolverines in this game. You have nothing to lose. Not a damn thing. There's nothing to lose in this game. Let's just be honest. Probably not going to be in the Maple League next year. Somebody going to have to get rid of that. Probably half that roster won't even be on that team next year. I've heard that there's been a call for getting rid of management, coaches, everything. So there's nothing to lose. Go out in this game, do everything you can to upset the playoff picture. Do whatever you can. I say we go out there, we run swing and gate, We do a couple reverses, some flea flickers. We let some of those defensive backs play on offense. Sillamar caught 2 touchdown passes earlier this season and playing receiver. Put his butt out there. Let him do his thing. Again, we were just talking about let's say throw some passes. He ain't got to go do that reverse pass thing. Line him up at quarterback. Tell him throw a fade or something, or do something crazy. Youngblood, they had him at Wildcat last week. I thought that was a really good play. He lined up like he was going to actually pass the ball and then just ran it. Do something like that. I think this is an opportunity for the Wolverines to go out in a blaze of glory. Like, even if you don't win the game, give us something to remember. Give us something to talk about next week. That's how you should look at this game is, you know what? I got something for their ass. I got something for them to talk about. This is what I'm going to do. Even if that's like a celebration, young Maddie playing receiver. If you catch a touchdown pass, let me see a footwork, man. Let me see a little celebration or something. I don't want to see people. I am tired of seeing people score and then jump with someone else and bump shoulders or what. That is so not even creative. I want to see something nice. Youngblood, he does the weird gritty. I don't really want to see that anymore. I like to see something new if possible. But yeah, surprise me. I'd see maybe somebody dive down and do like the surfboard, swim on the ground and stand up. Maybe a couple players get together, do a canoe. Can I get a little Backstreet Boys or something, And shout out to Alvin Reels and Tyron Dixon also, defensive players. Let me get some celebrations. I think last week Alvin Reels made a tackle and then, booted that thing. I appreciate that. Give us something to talk about. That's pretty much all I got for Wolverines in this game is give us something to talk about. Don't worry about winning the game. Give us something to talk about. And if it tickles your fancy, I'm not going to go that route. Don't get no penalties.
Yeah.
Because I ain't going to go that route. Stay safe out there, guys. Enjoy the game. Good luck to you. That's all I got for them. All right, that's it for this episode of American Football in Finland. Any last words before we get out of here, Q?
Nah, good luck, man, to the guys that's playing still, and let's get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't wait for playoffs. I think next week we'll talk about guys that we think are going to be MVP and all Finland and things like that. We'll tease a couple names. We should have our list by then too. So again, we'll be back next week. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, and share on all social channels at American Football in Finland. And until next time, never forget. I got it right. I
F.
Go Butchers.
Yeah.